Customers are only willing to pay as much as the value that they receive from your product. There's two primary sources of value. The first is based on the raw material, and the second is based on the value you add. Now, your selling price can't exceed the total value received by the customer. And that creates this simple formula. Profit equals selling price minus the cost of your value adds minus the cost of your raw material. Raw materials doesn't necessarily mean something that you dug up out of the ground. It's pretty much the cost of your inputs. If you have a convenience store, then it's the cost price of your milk. The price of these kind of things are usually fixed. It's very difficult to truly produce something much cheaper in this highly competitive marketplace. Your value adds are pretty much the benefit you add on top of your raw materials for the customer. In the example of a convenience store, it may be being open 24 hours a day, and your location if you placed much closer in the suburbs instead of in the city. These value adds all have a cost. For example, you'll have to pay rent for that location. And if you want to be open 24 hours a day, you're going to need to pay your staff overtime to work through the night. You may even need security for those odd hours of the night. Now, your total selling price can't exceed this total value that the customers receive. So if you want to increase your selling price, you need to increase your value adds. Though at the end of the day, it's your customers that determine the value of these benefits, not you. If you're placed in the suburbs with mostly traditional families, they may not really care to be able to shop or buy milk at 2 a.m. Looking back at the formula, if you want to become more profitable, you'll either need to reduce your costs or increase your selling price. If you're adding costs that your customers don't value, you're actually going to reduce your profitability. The secret lever is to add the most value at the lowest cost to yourself. In the suburbs, they may not care to buy milk at 2 a.m. They may be shopping after work, or some of the early birds may be shopping before work. There may even be some stay-at-home parents who are grabbing just one or two things from the convenience store in between their big weekend shops. But no one is really up in the middle of the night buying anything. If you look at the 24-hour cycle of your staff, you may have 3 8-hour shifts. If instead you choose to close at 10 p.m. and reopen at 6 a.m., you could keep 99% of your customers while reducing your staff costs by a third. Because they never saw the value in you being open in the middle of the night, it wasn't truly profitable to be doing that in the first place. Adding value always has a cost, so you need to ensure that your customers actually value that cost.